If you're hoping to get some of the best pals early in your playthrough of Palworld, one of the best ways to do so is to become a savvy pal breeder, which gives you access to some of the best options very early on in the game. Once you get to level 19 and gain access to the breeding farm, you'll open the door to homegrown pals you might not discover until way later by normal means. If you aren't sure how to breed pals at all, you should check out our guide for that before watching this video, because we'll be diving straight into which pals are best. And with that, here are the best pals to breed in Palworld, in order of urgency. First up is Kitsun, which we can give our highest recommendation as a pal you should breed as soon as possible. Not only can you breed this guy really early on in your adventure, but once you do so, you'll find yourself completely impervious to heat or cold while riding it, which is a godsend for exploration. You can breed Kitsun either with a Gummoss and a Sweetpaw, both of which can be obtained as level 11 alpha pals early on, or by using Ruby and Panking, both of which are slightly more out of the way than the other combination, but very much within reach by the time you're high enough level to build a breeding farm. Another great exploration mount is Rhound because of its unique ability to double jump, which makes it really useful when running around the map. It also has lots of ranged attacks that fire in a straight line, which make combat a breeze. You can breed this pal in a few different ways, but the easiest way is by breeding a Dire Howl and a Nightwing, since they can both be found in very early areas of the game and can both be caught under level 10. If you're still riding Nightwing in the early game, consider leveling up with Quivern, a flying dragon pal that's a pretty decent upgrade. Not only can you ride it, but this feathery lad has some impressive working skills to make use of at your base. You can catch a level 23 one outright via the Alpha Boss Battle, or at Wildlife Sanctuary number 2, but you might also consider breeding one. To do so, you'll need a Nightwing and a Relaxaurus, both of which can be found in early game areas and can be caught in between levels 10 and 20, putting them very much within reach. Due to how good Anubis is, we made an entire video for this pal separately, so you can watch it for more details, but the short version is that Anubis rules for a multitude of reasons, and you can breed one by mixing a Quivern and a Chillette, a Bushi and a Panking, or a Ragnahawk and a Tombat. A level 11 Chillette is one of the earliest bosses you'll gain access to, and we've already talked about how to get a Quivern, so that's probably your best bet early on in your adventure. Firis is one of the best flying mounts in the game, owing to its excellence as a fighter and its level 3 kindling and transport stats that make it extremely useful back at your base. Plus, the dude just looks dope. You can breed this flaming bird by crossing an Anubis with a Vanworm, the former of which is best to just breed, and the latter which can be caught at low levels in Ascetic Falls, which you can get to by going west of the starting location. One of the best grass-type pals in the game, Lylene, only spawns at high levels in Wildlife Sanctuary number 3, but you can get one way sooner and more easily through breeding. Lylene's not just useful on the battlefield, but also because they have insane gardening skills that are perfect for the homestead. You can breed them by crossing a Patalia with a Mossanda. Patalia is most reliably caught in their level 28 boss form on the southern half of Mount Floppy Island, northwest of the Windswept Hill, and Mossanda can be found by the boatload over in the Mossanda Forest between level 20 and 30. Vdash is a jack-of-all-trades grass pal with high attack, low food needs, and a ton of work skills that make it indispensable in the early game. You can crossbreed it by combining a Bushi, which can be caught in its alpha boss form at level 23, and a Toko Toko, which spawns at low levels in the desert area on the northeastern edge of Investigator's Fork. One of the creepiest pals in the game, Grizzbolt, is also incredibly useful around a base, especially as you start needing electricity to keep the place afloat. This electric type can power your generators, work with its hands, chop lumber, and transport stuff, making it very hard to pass up. You can breed one of these big boys by mating a Mossanda with a Rhound, two pals we've already covered in this video. Orz Zerk is a tough pal to catch at lower levels, since it only spawns at level 40 or higher, but is a very useful pal to breed, since it's tough as nails and has great stats for helping out around the house. You can breed one of these guys using a Grizzbolt and a Relaxaurus, which we've also gone over already. Aagon is one of the toughest pals in the game, a dragon and dark type pal with crazy stats and deadly attacks, who will almost surely be a part of your endgame lineup. Plus, it's pretty handy with a pickaxe. This badass can be incubated right up using a Relaxaurus and a Suzaku. Unfortunately, a Suzaku can be a bit of a pain to get, and you'll need to wait until you're pretty high level to find one out in the wild you'll actually be able to catch. But once you're level 40 or so, head on over to the sand dunes and you'll see plenty hovering around. Finally, there's Shadow Beak, which is quite simply one of the top combat pals in the game, and also the best non-legendary flying mount. But breeding this one can be a bit tough, as you'll need a Kitsun, which we talked about breeding at the top of the video, and an Astagon, which, as discussed moments ago, can take a bit of doing to breed on its own, but the results will surely be worth it. And there you have it. Those are our top picks for the best pals to breed in order of priority for early players. For more, check out our guide for breeding Anubis and our guide on how to breed pals in general. And for everything else in this pal-filled world, stick with IGN.